Do you want to know how to rank up with Alibi? We've come to the right video. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to play Alibi in Year 7 Season 3 Brutal Storm, so that you better know what you're doing when you go into ranked with her. I'm going to go over things like her loadout, general tips when to bring you into a custom game, and at the very end of the video, I'm going to do an in-game example, so make sure you stick to the end for that. With that out of the way, let's get in the video. So Alibi has a very good loadout. She has the MX4 Storm, which is one of the best defensive SMGs in the entire game. It has a 1.5 a flash hider and a vertical/angled grip, depending on which one you want. There is a lot of recoil to it if you don't know really how to control it, but it's mostly vertical, so you can learn how to control it pretty easily actually. The 1.5 in the vertical grip and flash hider is the combo that I run. You can run suppressor because of the new meta, or you can run flash hider and angled grip. Either one pretty much works. And she has the ACS 12, which is a pretty good 12 gauge combat shotgun, fully automatic, with a choice of most of the sights in the game. If you go to it, you have the 2x and the 1.5 and all of the one-time scopes. She has the vertical grip and the angle grip on this as well. It has not a lot of recoil for an automatic shotgun, but for a regular gun it might have a little bit. But vertical grip 2x is actually plenty, and it's overall a pretty easy gun to use, but compared to the MX4 Storm, you're going to be using that Storm more often than not. Then she has the choice between the Keratos and the Bailiff. You're always going to want to run the Bailiff over the Keratos, just because this can make head holes, feet holes, rotation holes, hip holes, impact trick holes, etc. Well, this can only really do a lot of damage. And then she has deployable shields or impacts. I always recommend you run a deployable shield if it's an option for every single operator in the entire game. There are a few exceptions, but Alibi is not one of them. And unless you're impact tricking with your Bailiff, then I always recommend you run the deployable shield. So the prime loadout that I would suggest is the MX4 Storm, the Bailiff, and the deployable shield. Now the last part of her loadout, of course, is her main ability, the Prisma, and it's just a hologram. She has 3 of them. I'm actually going to bring you into a custom game and show you how that works and all of the tips and tricks that I know, and then we'll get into the VOD review later. Alright, so I brought you into a custom game, and I'm going to show you all of the tips and tricks that I know with Alibi, starting off with the basic trick section. So one of the things that I want to teach you with Alibi is do not wear skins when playing Alibi. The reason for this is all of your clones, no matter what skin you have on, right now I do have a body skin on, no matter what you have on, your clones are going to appear with the basic body kit. As you can see, this clone has no skin on, so it doesn't matter what you have on, it's always going to have no skin on. And the reason that this is important is because if I have a skin on, the person who's in a gunfight with me, or about to be in a gunfight with me, swings me, whatever, they're going to know that I'm not a fake Alibi clone, and they're not going to hesitate to shoot me. A lot of the times many other players, I'm sure you can even relate, whenever you swing an Alibi, and it doesn't have any skin on, right? So you hesitate thinking it's an Alibi clone, and they kill you. And that second of hesitation gets you killed or gets you free kills a lot more times than you'd think. So that's my first tip, is do not wear any skins when playing Alibi. With that out of the way though, let's just get into some basic Alibi placements. So I set up on Cafe here. Top Floor Cafe is a great Alibi site because it requires a lot of shotgun holes, a shield, and there's a lot of places you can put Alibi placements, right? So with my Bailiff, I made a rotate, head holes here, head holes there, a rotate right here, a rotate right here, and I could have gotten all of this railing to make a rotate between bar 2 and heaven possible. So you can do a lot with the Bailiff, like I said in the loadout section. I also destroyed bar 1 here, so they can't just plant default and they're forced to plant behind the bar, right? I could have shotgunned the bar out too in case I want to do the other way around, or I wanted both shotgunned. Like I said, the Bailiff provides a lot of versatility that the Keratos just can't, so that's why you always want to run the Bailiff on Alibi. But like I said, basic Alibi placement. So you want to be playing off of your Alibis whenever you're playing Alibi, or at least have a teammate that's playing off of them if you know that your teammates are going to be sitting in a certain place or you're duo queued. So a great example is Pixel. If you are going to solo queue and you play Cafe, holding piano control is the most important part of holding the 3rd floor. If you lose piano control, you probably are going to lose the round unless you have severe man advantage. So a thing that I like to do is just to be the person that holds Pixel, because again, I have a deployable shield and I have a 1.5 SMG that's really powerful. So what you can do is you can play off of your Alibi clones. You can have an Alibi clone behind this couch, you can have an Alibi clone behind the shield, and then you play on the head holes, or you can have an Alibi clone on the head holes and you play on the shield. Either way it works, it's really easy to do. You can put an Alibi clone right here behind the bar. You can put an Alibi clone, let's say, like behind this surface right here, if you know they're not going to repel on these windows. You can put an Alibi clone behind any one of these couches, this couch right here. As long as the foot of the Alibi clone is behind something, so they can't shoot the feet and destroy it, which is how you destroy Alibi clones, then you should be pretty much good to go. But what you don't want to do is put all 3 of your Alibi clones in one place. So it's cool to do one of the things I just told you, but not all of them that I just told you. The reason for this being is because a lot of the times if you're playing, especially if you're not playing on site, you rotate away from your clones eventually, and then those clones become useless. So you want to have some that are on site. A great example would be having one like, let's say behind this bar, or let's say like behind this bar. This makes it to where if anybody's on the window, they shoot it, but also if they walk in through here, they'll shoot it maybe. You can put one on any single window that you don't want them rappelling on, or if they do, they get pinged, / ran out on, right? You can put one, let's say, like, behind this bar right here, for anybody that comes on a new balc, so that you can, you know, swing off this pillar and kill them. You can put one behind the bar right here. You can put them behind any deployable shields that are about, right? Like, there's just a lot of places you can put these alibi clones, and you can think about them, like, very creatively. But just be thinking about common pre-fire angles from attackers. So, you know, people will pre-fire these head holes if they're there. People will pre-fire freezer. So having an alibi clone maybe, like, on this rotate. Well, not like that, but, you know, on the rotate, or having it behind this rotate, or having it behind the bar like this. You know, stuff like that where they're commonly going to pre-fire is really good, because again, they get pinged whenever they shoot these things. But also just places that people expect players to be. So people expect players to be behind this bar, or behind this wall right here, or on heaven, or behind bar 2, which is why I put alibi clones there, right? So common places that defenders will sit and common pre-fire angles are all great alibi placements, but as well as having one that you're going to play off of if you're extending or if you're near the site. So that is my tip for placing alibi. And now let's move on to the advanced tip sections of the custom game. So one thing that pro players will do, really advanced players, high elo players, etc., is during the late stages of a round, when they know nobody's going to get the clone, they throw a clone outside. And the reason they throw a clone outside is because if you're an attacker, whenever a clone is thrown outside, like let's say outside the skylight or outside the hatch, there's big red letters on your screen that appear and say opponent detected outside. No matter if it's an actual player or an alibi clone, it shows those letters. So having big blinking red letters on your screen is really distracting to attackers. It puts them in a lot more stress, so that's just something that you can do to really annoy attackers, and that's my first advanced tip. My second advanced tip is you can actually pretend to be alibi clones. This doesn't work a lot of times, but when it does, it's pretty sweet. Like, let's say you have a deployable shield right here and an alibi clone behind it, and they've already shot the alibi clone, they know it's there. What you can do is you can walk over your alibi clone, and it makes a clone disappear, and then you just stand here, right? Again, it doesn't work if you have a skin on, but if you sit here and you ADS like this, and they come in, they're gonna think that you're the clone that they just shot, and then once they come in and they walk around, you get a free kill. So, pretty cool, in my opinion. Also, another cool advanced tip is saving an alibi clone for yourself. So, what you can do is, let's say I'm playing in, like, bakery, right? And I know they're pushing me extremely heavily. They're pushing from small bakery, right? I might have a castle barricade here and a rotate right here. They're pushing me from the double door. What I can do is I can apply a little bit of pressure. Let's say I haven't put an alibi clone anywhere in here to help me because I've put them inside or with my teammates, and I have one stored, right? What you can do is you can wait for them to drone, and they've droned everything, right? So they see like, okay, no one's behind here, no one's like on these feet holes right here, no one's behind the bar right here, no one's in small bakery. Okay, so they've droned it, and you know they've droned it. So what you can do is you can put an alibi clone after they drone. So let's say they just drone me in bakery, I'll throw one right here. And now when they walk in, they're going to think that's an actual player because they droned it and a player wasn't there when they droned it, and now suddenly something's there, right? They're going to think that's a real player. And then they shoot it, and while they're shooting it, you peek up and you kill them. So a very advanced tip on how you can get some free kills with Alibi and use a pocketed clone to your advantage. This works if they're playing extremely sloppy, if they're not really playing smart, you know, like they're droning in and they're playing off of their drones very aggressively. That strategy works 9 times out of 10, especially if you're in power positions like piano or like bakery or like VIP when they push white. It's the same thing. You know, you just pocket an alibi clone and you throw it out and you trick attackers. It's pretty easy to do. But that's pretty much it for the tips section of the video. I'm going to bring you into a actual VOD review of me playing Alibi, and I'm going to show you my thought process on how I play so that you better know how to play Alibi going into your next ranked match. Okay, so I brought you into a VOD review of me playing Alibi in a ranked match, and I'm just going to bring you through my step-by-step thought process and what I was thinking, why I did what I did, so that you can get a better understanding of what you should do. So let's just get straight into it.
Deploying the bait.
So super common pre-fire angle on that double window, and if anybody's playing like Glaz or Cali, or they're just in ruins trying to mow down anybody in pink bar, if they hit that Alibi clone, it makes it a lot easier for us to see where they are and therefore peek outside and kill them. Also, if anybody's repelled there, it makes it super easy for us to run out. So that's just my thought process on that Alibi right there.
Located a bomb. Be ready for assault.
Shield ready. Playing my trump card.
So that anybody that is playing off of my shield can play off of my Alibi, but preferably I'd be there and I'd again replace that Alibi clone with myself and get a free kill like I talked about in the custom game. That's like perfect world scenario though. But anyways, good Alibi clone there, good deployable there, and let's continue the video. So I put an Alibi clone there because, again, that's a common pre-fire angle for attackers. I broke the window so that they think the Alibi clone is spawn peeking anybody that spawns pool, and then it also gives me an idea of where they're spawning. If nobody shoots that Alibi clone, I know not to play in kitchen or in sunrise to try to run out on somebody that's repelled for VIP, right? I can play somewhere else where the attackers are shooting my Alibi clones or are spawning in and breaking barricades, stuff like that. So some pretty okay Alibi clones coming in. I'm not really expecting much. I'm solo queuing. I'm not really going to play off of my Alibi clones this round, and neither are my teammates because honestly they're not very good. But I just kind of threw them around how I felt like, and they're still probably going to get some value anyways because that's how easy Alibi is to play. As you can see, I am reinforcing a lot of walls, doing my part while I'm setting my clones up, putting a deployable shield up, still being useful, but I'm still trying to be a fragger with a fragger mindset. So let's continue the video.
10 seconds left.
Reloading.
5 seconds. Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Stand.
Loading new mag.
Our teammates already get 2 spawn peak kills, so already looking very good. They killed 2 people on ruin side of the map, so I'm looking around for the other sides of the map, right? They already got a bunch of kills there. The attackers aren't going to rush there anymore. I'm trying to look for stragglers that spawned on the opposite side of the team that they're attacking with. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm looking in kitchen, service door, reception door. I'm looking through the CC windows. I'm looking for white windows, stuff like that. And there ends up being a kid in aqua. I'm listening right now, just seeing if I can hear somebody. I hear somebody outside this door. I hear them rappel up to the white window.
One ako.
I shoot a dead body because our teammate traded. Whatever. But I heard someone on the roof. That's what I called out earlier. So I'm trying to see if I can get a free pick on him. Realistically, you play man advantage here, but I just wanted to get a free kill, so... Now I get a call out that one's VIP. I can't see this guy on the roof. I get shot from the bathroom window, which means the guy on the roof must have dropped down the bathroom hatch into bathroom because one's in VIP getting tagged by my clone and one's shooting at me, right? And there's only 2 players left, so I know where both of them are now, right?
Both VIP.
He said both are VIP, so I know both of them are there and I can kind of flank right now. I'm also getting info off of my Alibi clone because the guy in VIP shot the one on the big window. It's helping me and my teammates out a lot.
Last operator standing.
He was prone, unfortunate, got a kill. We get tagged by an Alibi clone. And luckily she's getting pinged right now, so she's not pushing up too heavy.
One friendly remaining.
And our teammate refrags.
Friendly.
So the Alibi clone kind of saved our Malusi there because she was stunned, but the Alibi clone made the Zofia hesitate to push up until she was done getting pinged. Our Doc realized this, he swung, he lost the gunfight, whatever, and then our Malusi refragged. So that is an example of an Alibi clone kind of winning us the round. The one that was on the window really saved us, and that is how you need to be playing Alibi. You need to be putting Alibis in common attacker points, common pre-fire angles, just like I did, and you will get you and your team a lot of value. With that being said, that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. Don't forget to sub the channel. It would help me out a lot. Like the video if you liked it. I have tons of operator guides, which I'll put on the left on my outro. But with that being said, my name's Alka, and I will see you in the next one.